Welcome to the FFL Weekly, your one stop for all things fantasy football. Only here will you find expert analysis, magnificent takes, and in-depth reviews that will leave you wanting more. Join us on the season-long quest to find out who will be crowned the next FFL champion. Now, here are your hosts, Mark AT9 and Power Surge 55.
Welcome in. Is anyone here yet? We got 2 viewers. Is that you guys?
That is Mark AT and Doc Rob.
Mark AT.
No one fans. That's why I'm here. Special guest.
Special guest.
Welcome in,
Doc
special
Rob.
guest.
What's going on? Welcome in. Look at that. There we go. Got that fixed. Should we wait till other people are here or just go?
We got 4 people watching now.
Oh, 4 people. We're live. We're action. All right. Week 4, everyone. Welcome in. Another great week here. Week 3 recap show. We got special guests, as you can see. The one and only Doc Rob, a.k.a. Feline Freedom Fighters. Welcome, Doc
Great,
Rob.
baby. Thank you. You know, as a longtime viewer for the last 4 weeks, this just shows that anyone can get on the Fantasy Football League live if you are determined enough.
Well, I don't know if we should take that as a compliment or not, Mark AT, but we're happy to have you here.
As always, a pleasure to have Doc Rob on the show here. Welcome in.
Yeah,
And
cheers.
Mark AT's having some camera issues, no surprise. And so we do appreciate Rob joining. We'll do a quick week 3, I went to week 2. Week 3 recap here. It was rivalry week last week. And that started with the cousins, Adam versus Andrew. Andrew had an okay week, actually scored 86 points, but Adam decided to score the most points of anyone this week, 121.26. His boy, Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin showed up against our Bengals and dominated.
Sadly and happily.
And then his backup running back decided to go off for 22 points. And his wide receiver that played like shit first couple weeks
Deontay Johnson
had a quarterback change and scores 18. So those are the pretty big differences there. I mean, Calvin Ridley, who consequently Andrew got in a trade from Doc Rob, scored 0.9 points. So thank you, Doc Rob, for fleecing me out there.
I had to play him last week, and he scored 20 that week, I think.
Yes, he did.
Overall disappointing though for Trigg. Was looking to bounce back after historically low numbers in week 1 and week 2, but sorry, Mark IT had other plans this week.
Yes.
You know, it was good. Trig, thank you for putting a kicker in to give it your best shot. I know that you,
I did.
debated.
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about that.
It's a good thing you did to show, that you're giving it your all.
I am giving my all. I wanted to take a chance, try and pull out the win, but Adam didn't play tight end, and he scored the most points. So, congrats to Adam. Maybe he has a decent team this year. We'll see. We'll jump down to your game, Doc, and that was you versus Ross, the Loveland boys, and nice win for you here, Rob. Josh Allen, the guy who I believe I told you to draft,
great.
is carrying you.
Yep. If it weren't for Mr. Allen, I don't think that we would have the win here.
Yeah, I mean,
Rod Allen.
Ross, who took Barkley right after me, and oh god, and then you took Gibbs. I took Gibbs, and he ended up taking his counterpart, who scored just as many points. Ugh. But good. Barkley's probably been number 1 running back so far. Mahomes has been a little bit of a letdown for Mahomes. Yeah, overall, Al Kincaid, who you got from me last week, he had a good game too. That was a big difference there. 10 points to 0.4.
That's true. That is true. Usually tight ends don't really put up points, so feeling pretty fortunate there to have him.
That honestly was there. You won by 11 there, just over 10. So that was a difference maker. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
And let's go to the We'll save this game for last here. We'll jump down to the husband-wife game, Jess versus Kevin. Return of the Mac had a pretty big showing against Raging Clue. Raging Clue is desperate for running backs. Raging Clue, if you're out there, I've made multiple offers. You know, if everyone knows here in this league, my trades are very, very nice, very fair, you know. So take a look, Raging Clue, for some trades. But that said, I mean, Jess's running backs played like shit too. I mean, James Conner only 2 points.
Just absolutely no mercy for Raging Clue here.
Yeah, it's tough.
No.
Big game from Jackson there. Malik Neighbors. Oh, Metcalf did show up. That's nice to see. Overall, just a pretty bad game from Kevin. -2 points on the Vegas defense. That's tough to see. That may be the first negative points of anyone this season. Then we'll jump back up to the west side, the elder boys, Brandon and Alex. Alex, 0-3 again this year, just like last year. He's struggling. I mean, some pathetic performances by the quarterbacks in this one. We look at Achane and Robinson, nothing special there. Jamar Chase was a difference maker for Brandon this week, I think.
Yeah, finally put up some points from our Chase. Jeez, oh.
Yeah, he did. And then I think he got hurt. I just saw the news today, so he's got his shoulder issues.
Yes,
so.
that's questionable.
But Alex,
The experts say.
Go ahead, Doc.
That's what the experts say, but you never know with those experts. Could be fake news, right, Andrew?
Fake news. Alex is needed for some wide receivers. So, Alex, I'm open to some trades, you know. Let me know. Aubrey for Brandon continued. I think he's like number 10 overall of anyone in fantasy points. So, congrats to you there. As you move to 3-0, along with Doc Rob, the only 3-0 teams.
Congratulations.
And then we got a couple 2-1 teams now after Scott's loss to Nate here this week. Scott, we warned you, lowest total points of the week. We warned you last week to look out, did we not, on this show? Go check the notes. Check the receipts, as they say. And you did end up with the lowest score total at this point for the Survivor League. So, hate to see that for you. Bad games out of Jacobs and Stevenson, but they kind of washed out there. Big difference for Purdy over Stroud. You wouldn't really expect that. Purdy's been really good this year. Where did Scott lose it here? Looks like Najigba versus Goodwin. And then the kicker, man. Oh, both defenses -1. You hate to see that. I do recall that, like going into Monday night, boys. Scott had a lead, but he decided to play the Bengals defense.
Oh, no.
At one point, Trevor Bass for the Bills at the beginning of the game, he missed an extra point, so he had -1. So Scott was looking pretty good, and then the Bengals just have the worst defense in the league this year and ended up getting torched. So a big mistake there by Scott. That probably cost him the game.
Well, what else was his other option?
He had there's 32 defenses in the NFL, and there's only 12 teams here in the FFL. So I think he had 20 other options out there, Adam.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, did he not already drop that team and re-sign them?
I think he has a love-hate relationship with the Bengals here. It's very possible.
Maybe being a fan of the Bengals here kind of bit him in the butt.
That's a good point, Doc. Yep.
You could say.
So, all right, quickly, we'll get to the last game of the week here. Was the brother-in-law games. Woo! Ryan versus Mike, and wow, this one turned out to be a nail-biter. Tough loss for Ryan. I think he scored the third most points, ended up with a loss. So you're gonna go through he's fourth most, I guess, if you can't after Jess, just by less than a point here. But you're gonna go through those as an owner in the FFL. You just gotta learn to rebound. Stay strong.
We might need a name change. I think that the name is bad luck. It's just kind of continuing the saga.
Well, it is
A, B, C, D, E, F, B.
Yeah. Maybe
Not good.
look into that. It's a good point, Doc. I mean, this score was looking way worse than what it was. I remember looking earlier in the day, and the Cowboys were horrible, but the Ravens let them back in the game. Which
Yeah,
gave
they
Dak
did.
a lot of points. Bro, I mean, he had a good game despite his team sucking.
Yeah.
But then T. Higgins, I mean, I thought this was coming down to the end. I thought T. Higgins might get some garbage time catches and put him over the top over Mike, but Higgins is not showing up this year, unfortunately, for Ryan.
Well, it was his first game back, though, so.
That's a good point. I did notice Ryan unfortunately, he went with Hunter Henry this week, who had a big week 2, and he shit the bed this week, but his other tight end, Goodert, had the 17 points. He had the best week of any tight end last week, and he was on his bench, so that would have been the difference. Hate to see it, but Ryan is now 0-3, along with a couple other teams. So, congratulations to those that won. Any closing thoughts on week 3, gentlemen? Yeah, if Scott would have won and beat Nate, then he would have been 3-0. Yeah, so Scott.
Well, then it would have been different for the other team, though.
Yeah, well, Nate would have been 1-2. Everything would have matched up. So we'll thank Scott for ruining that trend.
Yep, Scott, appreciate it.
All right, real quickly, we'll jump over to the challenge and see how things are going over there for last week. So last week was the biggest losers, so the highest scoring losing team. And I apologize to the chat. We just got back in here. So congratulations, Ryan, on the chat, who had 99.96 as the top scoring losing team. So he is $5 going his way. And Adam had the highest score last week as well, so he has five more dollars coming his way. So congrats to you both there.
Go.
And real quickly, Survivor, our favorite event here. Week 1, we saw yours truly go down. Week 2, Kevin gave that warning sign out to Scott, top row. He didn't listen. He didn't talk to his boys, and it came true. Scott,
look at that, the pattern.
The pattern. So I don't know which way we're going to go from here, but, if I was any of these 9 teams, I would look out. It could be you this week. You better talk to your boys and make sure they don't score the lowest.
I think it might be Doc Rob.
There he goes.
Wow, that's a call out to Adam. So look out. Adam just put himself on the radar. So Scott with the low. Kevin actually had the lowest score this week, but since he was eliminated in week 2, Scott had the next lowest, and he has been eliminated in week 3. All right, let's jump back into it, boys. Let's take a look at week 4. It's time to make some moves here. I mean, if you're 0-3, a couple 0-3 teams out there, if you can't get a win this week, you're looking pretty bad.
Don't count anybody out here, Trig. This is a man's league.
All right, we'll start down here with this is, again, we're outside the league play now, or outside division play. So now we are in the next, is it the next 8 weeks you're going to play every team outside of your division. So one time. So this week we are outside of the division. So Jess gets Mike. And this is a big matchup here, tough. 96-94. We got some AFC North quarterbacks going at it. Some strong running backs here, and with Kamara Robinson versus Williams and Mason. If Mason doesn't show up again this week, though, we might be in trouble. Looking at their wide receivers, big wide receiver matchups, bunch of really good players. These are some of the top teams in the league right now, both at 2-1. I'm gonna give the edge to Jess. We'll give this one to Jess here. I like Money Mac to come through and be the difference.
I don't know about that. I really don't. I mean, he really has not come through in these last 2 games.
That's right. He did miss a field goal last week, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. He also cost us the Chief game.
That's true. Any comments, Rob?
You let me know when we're ready for the chat segment. We got some.
We'll run
some
through this because Rob's apparently got some drama here, folks. So we'll run through.
We just gotta talk. We gotta talk through what's happened this last week in the chat.
Oh,
Okay. All right, we'll jump into.
sounds like it involves Trigger.
Any private messages?
I'm excited to see.
Is this involving Trigger trying to scam you for wide receiver or something?
The only one's got scammed so far has been me.
Those scams get shot down every time he sends those garbage trades over.
Garbage
I
trades.
get
Shot down immediately.
That's insulting.
Whoa!
That's insulting. I only have the best trades out
Trigger
there.
would never.
Knows.
Sometimes I give him my reason. Sometimes I don't, because he knows why.
That doesn't sound good.
All right, so Ryan versus Kevin this week. That's a big matchup. Kevin, just hate to see this running back lineup here. Kevin, please, I'm open for trades.
He's open to scheme.
I sent Kevin a very fair trade, but I didn't get any response, and it actually would have turned out to be in his favor significantly. I'm not going to say what the trade was, but it would have been pretty good. So sometimes you got to give those trades a shot.
Yeah, you're right. Just like how you fleeced me on the trade this year.
Points.
Looks like Ryan moved Zach Moss into the starting lineup. We'll see if that works out in his favor. That's an interesting development. So Ryan's gonna go with 2 Bengals players, and he's got Goddard back in the lineup here. Mark Andrews has not shown up this year for Kevin. That's been a big disappointment for him and for really across the fantasy spectrum. So hopefully he can start to turn around, but you got to give the edge to Ryan on this one. We got Adam versus Dash here. This is another close-looking matchup, right around 90 points. I think Daniels, he had such a great game last week. I don't know if he'll be able to continue it.
Don't be a hater. He's QB2 right now.
He's QB2 right now. We'll see what happens against Arizona. I don't think they have a very good defense either, so he might show up. Hurts has been hurting. He's been underperforming every week. He's at like 20 points, and he ends up scoring like 15. Okay, I lied. Last week he scored 25, or 2 weeks ago. But last week he only scored 12. So we'll see what if he can show up. Oof, rough wide receiver matchups here. Not sure who to really favor in these wide receiver matchups. Any thoughts?
Why is that rough? What, Trig?
Who do you like wide receiver wise?
Well, obviously my team.
Ah, okay, of course. Well, it's a close one. Alex is desperate for a win here. Adam could shoot himself up 3-1. That'd be huge. I'm gonna give this one to Alex. I think he's gonna pull it out.
Okay, all right.
Here we go. Got Nate versus another close game, 91-90. Nate versus Rob here. Doc here to defend your team. You got a very good matchup wise, running backs and quarterbacks, very even.
We all know it's about the kicker and the defense, though. You got to secure that good kicker and a good defense. It's usually what games.
You got some slight advantages here at wide receiver, I think, especially with Mike Evans. That was a good trade you had there.
The question is, does he play Cooper, right? I don't know.
Cooper. Which Cooper? What are you talking about?
Oh, am I looking at the wrong thing? Sorry. I meant to say Hubbard. Should he play Hubbard? That's the question.
No.
Oh. I don't know. Hubbard. Who's Hubbard?
Hubbard.
For the for
yourself.
Panthers.
I keep looking over at Nate. You're talking to me.
I don't care about what Nate's doing. I care about what I'm doing.
Should you play Hubbard? Yeah, I don't know.
It's a tough call.
Harris, but open for a trade if you want to get a different player there.
Yes,
nobody's trying to get schemes by you, Trey.
I've already been schemed, brother. I've already been schemed.
Mm.
Chat's dead. I don't know, chat, if you're there. Chime in if I'm getting...
We dropped down to 4 watchers for a second. Now we're back up to 6. Maybe the special guest wasn't a good idea. I don't know.
my shitty internet's fucking.
Ross did a good job for our first special guest.
And we'll jump up real quick. Scott versus Ross. Another good matchup here. 2-1 versus 1-2. It's gonna be a tough game for Ross to pull out. You got Brees Hall and Josh Jacobs are big differences over Swift there, but Barkley's been huge. So if Barkley can pull out another great game, then maybe Ross can stick it around. I'll give this one to Scott for now. Lastly, you got yours truly versus Brandon. I mean, what the hell? This isn't even close. 20-point difference. Decent running back matchups. Carson Steele's going to be a stud. You know, he's open for trade if anyone wants to trade for him. He's been great so far. I don't even have a tight end and kicker because my team's that bad. Even if I put them in there, that would probably put me at like 85. So we got to give the edge to Brandon here. All right, Rob, you're up, sir, with your.
All right. Just real quick, because it's getting late. Everyone knows it's bedtime here at the Minot's house. So let's first talk about the hottest topics in the chat over the last week.
Yeah.
Which I think everyone had the Bengals blues. The Bengals performance was the fantasy equivalent of watching your favorite cake fall flat in the oven. Everyone had a piece of advice and despair, especially after Cincinnati's coaching decisions. Everyone was upset at the Bengals coach. Do we agree? I think that the chat agreed.
I think the chat's agreed. I'm scrolling up.
Fire Zach Taylor.
I got a quote here.
A lot of chat.
I got a direct quote here from Captain Gator, aka Brandon. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
give it to
Get Zach and his OC out of here.
I think this is a great take.
Yeah, great take, Rob.
Yeah, great take. We also had a fantasy MVP, Brandon Aubrey. Captain Gator found his silver lining with Aubrey, the kicker who could probably punt his way out of depression if given half a chance.
Punt his way out of what?
On his way out of depression if given half a chance.
All right.
And then we also got some bench warmers blues. Doc Robert calling out Power Surge for benching Cooper when his projections scream, "Start me."
Yikes.
A classic case of listening to the experts and ending up with an egg on your face.
Well, that's fair there, Doc, but we'll scroll back down. Guess what? It wouldn't have mattered because even if I threw him in there, I still would have lost. I would have actually got $5 for the most points of the losing team, so you got me there. But, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and moreover on Power Surge, our dear Power Surge, always ready to throw in the towel, dropping everyone except Gibbs and McCaffrey.
Yeah, and McCaffrey and Gibbs, they're available. If we want to take a look at this team right here, we got some great players on the bench, and we got some starting running backs available for trade. So, feel free to hit me up. I heard today we got some insider information from our fellow owner, Ross, from It's All in the Hips. He said McCaffrey is over in Germany getting some stem cell treatment. So Ross is asking the commissioner here to look in to see him. Maybe he's getting illegal treatment. But I don't think that's the case. I think he's cleared to play whenever he wants to come back. So best of luck to McCaffrey. Any other nice AI talking points, Rob?
Nope, that's it. This is the football chat log. That's where dreams are made and then promptly crushed under the cleats of reality. So,
whoa!
I love this. I gotta get you in here. We gotta do a weekly Doc Rob chat segment recap. I love this. This is great. Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thought I'd try and contribute something.
Love it. All right, real quick, we'll jump back to the challenge here and just remind folks what week 4 is bringing. Week 4 is socially distanced, so the team with the biggest margin of victory. So you might have a chance at $10 this week if whoever wins. It's gonna be down to 6 winners, and if you win by the most, you'll be getting $5. All right, gentlemen. Any closing thoughts?
That's it.
Do not have any good luck again.
Teams.
Good luck, teams, this week. Thank you all. Really rooting for those 0-3 teams. We gotta keep them relevant. Want to keep them in the league here. We don't want them quitting. So,
Well,
if you're playing an 0-3 team, maybe consider resting a couple starters.
Whoa! Is Trick just saying that because he wants to pick up his first win?
I'll take it any way I can get it, boys. All right. Thanks as always for joining, everyone. Thank you to our special guest,
All
Doc
right.
Rob.
No problem. It was a pleasure. See you,
Thanks,
boys.
Doc Rob. Thanks, everybody.